Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yes, this video here will be a response to Miss Soul. Miss Soul. She tagged me here, language tag. She has 11 questions here. So I'm going to answer them. I'm going to read them first. Also, what I would like to do is post these questions in the description area and tag all of my subscribers. So if you have a camera, you have a channel, you've been making videos, you may want to go ahead and answer these questions as well, and then post your video to a response to mine so she can see it, or actually post it to hers. Cause I'm gonna post my video as a response to hers anyway. So yeah, so here we go. So we have 11 questions here, and I'm going to start with the first one. So the first question says, what do you consider to be your native language? English, obviously, will be English. Number two, what was your first language? What was your first language learning experience? Let's see. I think I was in middle school. I remember it was Spanish. I took Spanish, and I still remember the name of the school was Ennis. It was in Akron, Ohio. Ennis Middle School, I think that was the name. I took Spanish there, and it was terrible. It was wow. I got F's. I didn't do well at all in that class. I still remember that. It wasn't a great experience, but that's what happened. That's what the experience was. So. Let's see. The third question is, what languages have you studied and why did you start them? I studied many languages, but what I'm going to do here is start with the first four at the beginning. So Chinese, what is it? What was it? Chinese, Arabic, Japanese, and then Korean. So as I always told you guys, Chinese was the first language I started learning. Why did I begin to learn that language? Well, I wanted to try something out new, and I thought that learning Chinese will be a challenge. It will be an interesting journey to embark on. So I started learning the language. I realized that I had a strong passion for the language learning. I was getting good at the Chinese, so I kept up with it. I didn't get much support at first. People thought I was weird, but that didn't discourage me. I became even more motivated especially when I started interacting with Chinese people. That really boosted my motivation. So that was the first language, and then Arabic. I didn't really when I first got my Chinese material, I just saw Arabic. I said, you know what? Let me try some Arabic here. I thought it would be cool to do that. So, I learned a couple words, phrases, and I would go to the Arab stores and practice with them. At the time, I didn't know much about these different dialects, but I still remember them laughing at me whenever I tried to practice some words with them. They would call me an Egyptian, but it wasn't like really serious. They were just joking around, calling me an Egyptian. But yeah. So Chinese, then Arabic, and then with Japanese. Now, keep in mind. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this. I almost forgot. This book here. This Arabic book, this is my first Arabic, phrase book. This was the first book I bought for Arabic, okay, back in 99. I had this book since 99, okay. I've even written in it, as you can see. Look at that. I was really trying to learn a lot of stuff to practice and see. Let's see. I have this here. Arabic. Look at that. That's all from back in 99. Wow. Ghibli, Idini, Awizaru, Ashuf. That's all Egyptian. Aiwa. Yup. So yeah, like I said, when I first got my Chinese material, I saw this Arabic book and I said, you know what, why not? And yeah, I had fun with it. But I didn't put the thing about it. I didn't really put as much time in it into Arabic as I did with Chinese. It was just like an off and on thing. So that was Arabic. Now with Japanese, Japanese came. When was this? This is when I always talk about my buddy Ichimaru Jamal. Uh, this I didn't start learning that until I like met him. I already had. I think I see. This is kind of I get the time mixed up. I think it was around 2000 when I met him. Was it 99, 2000? I think it was around 2000 into 99 when I met him. And then in 2000 was the beginning of this really leveling up stuff, like really going around and practicing these languages. We used to hang out particularly on the campus, University of Akron, and basically we just walked around and let me see, with the University of Akron and then Kent State University, where they have a lot of Japanese, a lot of Japanese exchange students. We used to go there. We used to just mix it up every week. And basically, what we did, we went to Kent State, and he was doing the Japanese at the time, and I was doing the Chinese, and he would have these conversations with the Japanese people, and I guess I got tired of it because I couldn't understand anything. I was just sitting there and just listening, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to start getting into this Japanese. So got some Japanese books, and I really got into the language, and there it was. I was right beside him. I mean, it was it was a slow pace because I was busy with Chinese, but I was still learning phrases and all that. So that's how Japanese came into the game. Then Korean came into it from when we were walking around on the campus of the University of Akron. We would just walk up to people and ask them the time, what time this library closed today, blah, 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 blah. And then we'll ask them where they're from. And then we met so many Koreans. They said, oh, I'm from South Korea. I'm from South Korea. I'm from South Korea. And what happened? Went out and got some Korean material and got to work. Same deal. So those are the reasons why I started those languages. And those are the languages I started and the reasons why I started them. Like I said, I study many languages, but I just want to focus on those first four for now. So, yep. So I showed you guys this Arabic book. Let's move on to the next question. How does your personality affect how you learn languages? Well, my personality, you guys know, I'm very laid back, very, very laid back, and I don't worry much. I'm not a worry type person. And this can help me with my language learning because if I happen to come across some obstacles, which you will when you're learning a language, I don't worry about them. I don't stress myself out about them. I'll just if it's too difficult, I'll just leave it, just move on to the next thing and come back to it later. I never worry about things, even if I'm in like a dire straight situation. I don't worry. I've always been like that. And even my wife, she asked me, she said, how do you, she doesn't like understand how I'm like that. Like, one thing she asked me often is, like, how come I'm so laid back and relaxed? And how come I'm so laid back and relaxed? And how come I don't worry about stuff? So I guess, like I said, that worry-free stuff helps me with my language learning. That's a big thing. And being laid back, just being relaxed, not so uptight about certain things. Let's see. Let's go to the next question. Do you prefer learning languages in a class or individually? Well, I've talked about this before. I prefer to learn on my own due to the type of method I use and pace I move at. Don't get me wrong. Classroom is okay because you get to meet other students, interact with them. But at the same time, you have to follow the same curriculum, and it may not be fast enough for you. Like I noticed in a lot of my classes, a lot of the language classes I took in the past, I was always the like, I wouldn't say I got the best grades, but as far as performance and proficiency, I was the best in the class. I was always trying to have the conversations with the teachers, and it wasn't because I was smarter than everybody. It's because my methods were completely different. I was following my own pace. I was working more, putting more work into what we were working on outside of the class. And that's the reason why. So in the end, I love to work by myself because I don't have to worry about following someone else's curriculum. So, but again, I'm not saying that it's bad to take languages in class. I mean, it works well for many people, but for me, it doesn't work that well. Um, that the type of pace they follow. So let's see here. What are your favorite what are your favorite language learning materials? Now this is kind of difficult. Well, I would say it all depends, like where I am, like what level I'm at. For example, if I'm a beginner, there are certain materials I like to use. For example, I like to use Osimil. If you guys don't know Osimil, I like to use a course like Osimil. Okay, at a beginner stage, and I like to use my very own FLR course because the methods are pretty similar. I, my style, I like to learn in a more natural way. I don't do too much grammar at the beginning, so I love to follow the Osimil or my FLR course. Um, I like to follow those first. Now, once I start getting up to like an intermediate, B1 or wherever you want to call it, then I'll start getting into courses that have like grammar, like they have a solid layout of grammar. Teach Yourself is one of them. I like Teach Yourself because they have a solid layout of grammar. ICML has grammar, but it's not the same as Teach Yourself, at least in my opinion. Teach Yourself has good grammar layout, and what else? Other courses like colloquial, spoken word, those courses. Once I'm getting around there, then I can kind of go through those courses and pay more attention to the grammar. Now, if there isn't an ASCII meal for a particular language I want to learn, then I'll just, I don't know, I'll make something work. But it all depends on what level I'm on. So I can't, those are my favorite courses to use at those levels. Okay. How much time do you spend actively learning per day or week? It depends. If I'm studying one language, if I'm focusing on just one language, I'll put like 6 hours in or even more. I find myself putting in 10 hours, 6 plus 8 plus hours. But if I'm doing multiple languages, like two languages a day, I'll probably put like 3 hours in. They may not be consecutive, but I'm definitely putting in 3 hours for one language. All right. Let me tell you. What are your short-term and long-term language learning goals? If you're talking about just, just like one language, like, well, what's your goal? What do you want to be in a language? I normally set a goal to reach at least a B1, a B1, or a strong B1 level, since I'm studying so many different languages. But if you're talking about in the long run, like, I haven't really made any solid plans, or what I want to do in the future with the languages, because I'm constantly learning and things are changing. Every day I learn something new, and I like this. My methods change, so I think solidifying something is not a good idea for now, at least. I would rather spend a few more years, um, you know, continue learning, and if I feel that it's time to solidify things, and take it to the next level, I will do that. But for now, I'm still in the process of learning. So let's see. What is okay? Number 9. What is your favorite language? Before I used to say I didn't. I used to say I didn't have a favorite language, but I have to say now my favorite language is Cantonese, hands down. Cantonese is my favorite language now. What is the next language you want to learn? this is right now is a hard question to answer because I can't talk much about it now, but I'm actually working on a project. It has nothing to do with the level up stuff that we got going on, but there's another project that I'm currently working on. It's going to take me at least a year. It's going to take me at least a year to finish it. So I can't say what language I want to learn next. So I'm going to have to skip this one for now. Let's see here. And the last question is, what advice can you give new language learners? Well, I think the best advice I can give, especially for those of you who don't have experience learning languages, I mean, everyone has some experience. I'll take it back. Everyone has some experience. They've taken language in school, high school, or college. But if you're really getting into it seriously, the best advice I can give is to just come at this thing with an open mind, and just remember that this whatever language you study is not going to be the same as your own language. There may be some similarities. For example, if it's your native English speaker and you want to learn Spanish, sure, there are going to be some words similar, but the grammar you're going to find a bit complicated. There are just going to be some major differences that you're going to have to accept. So if you can come at this with an open mind and accept all the differences, you'll be okay. I think that's the best advice I can give. Come at it with an open mind and just accept it the way it is. It's Spanish. If you see something, you say, oh man, I don't understand why they do this. It just say in your mind, it's Spanish. That's just the way it is. That's how it's done in Spanish. Just gotta accept it. So, all right, I am done. I am 16 minutes in this video. I'm gonna go ahead and upload it. And again, I'm gonna post these questions in the comment area, or not a comment area, but in the description area for you guys to check out. And if you want to make a video response to this, feel free to do that and tag other people. These are very good questions. So I want to thank Miss Soul for coming up with these questions. Appreciate it, and hope you guys enjoyed my responses. And I apologize for not being able to answer the question number 10. What is the next language you want to learn? Right now it's hard to answer that right now. So hopefully you guys can understand. But you will find out soon, very, very soon, what I got cooking over here. So, all right, that is it. I'm going to post this up, and yep. Thanks for viewing.